Okay, let's move on now. Hopefully, I've inspired you to add more color into your space. You're motivated, you're ready to run on out to the paint store, but hold on, I've got some tips for you first. The very first tip is be prepared. You want to add some red. Is it burnt red? Is it cherry red? Is it candy apple red? There's hundreds of reds. So here's what you want to do. Take something from your home that you want to tie into. Is it your sofa cushion? Is it part of your window treatment, a little piece of art? If it's portable, take it with you so you're not guessing. Here's an example. Let's say, and it's in your bag already, right? Let's say this is a pillow that I want to tie into, and I have my cushion cover with me. Well, there's the green. What do I want to tie into? I'm not at the paint store guessing now what color would go good with it. I have it there with me. This ties right into my next tip, and that is, don't always go for the obvious choice. Are you going to go with another shade of green? That may be a little bit too much. Tie in with some of the accent colors that's already in your piece. What I'm seeing here, I see some blues, I see some lavender, I see some purple, and there's even, do you notice, some gold. Why not tie into one of those colors? You see, remember this chip that I had, this swatch? I mean, how pretty would that be? And if you had your fabric right there, it'll be very easy to make a choice tying into one of the lavender colors. All right, the last thing I want to talk about, though, is don't be boring. Think outside the box sometimes. The final element here is this beautiful faux leather and snakeskin drum table. What's going on here? We don't have snakes in Hawaii. Now, what is this exactly? Is this an island texture? No. But does it work? Absolutely. Okay, you're going to find a little bit more help with this concept, the layering of textures, which is so important in your RSVP style book in the texture section. So, right now, let's head on over to where our materials are. Because what it's really going to take is to play with these materials to see how they work together. And you know what? This is the fun part. I remember that comment you made to me when you came back from the workshop. What was it that you said as soon as you came back home?
I assessed this room and I said, I have too much wood. I love wood, but I was wooded out.
Yeah, too much of a good thing is not such a good thing, right? Okay, so let's remember what this room looked like before. And you're absolutely right. There was a little too much of a good thing with the wood floor. And then you had the rattan wood sofa over here, right? And so you had a lot of wood elements because you already had this beautiful TV cabinet that you had to tie into. So the room before felt, you know, very brown. It was nice and it was rustic and it was in keeping with your style. But, you know, maybe a little bit too bland, a little bit too brown. So what you've done in the layering of the textures, I love it. Now here's a fun quick tip for you because it involves my favorite retail therapy, and that is to shop for accessories. Now, the key is to shop with focus. So what you need to do is take inventory of what you have as far as your styles, your colors, and your texture. So let's say, for example, you have a Mediterranean style home. Well, do you have enough of those Mediterranean elements in there, or do you need to incorporate some more? Next, how about the colors? What is your color scheme? Is it neutrals? Is that the direction you want to go? Do you have to pick up a few more things that are in the warm chocolates and tans? And finally, how about textures? Do you have maybe too much, like Carol had, a little too much wood? Well, if you have your wood dining table, are you going to get wood candlesticks? No, you better shop for something else, and that's what we're talking about, shopping with focus. Now, one of a very quick and easy thing that you can do on the weekend to really perk up your room and really tie it all in together is to shop for cushions. It's inexpensive, it's easy to do, it ties in color and texture. So finally, the remodel is complete and the fun can begin. I get to start decorating. So in this segment, what I'd like to do is talk you through my thought process as I decorate this living room, and I'm going to be incorporating our fundamentals of inspiration, color, and texture. Just think. And on the back you can see that it is hand knotted. This is 100% wool rug. It's from Tibet, and for that reason the price point's going to be higher, but you know what? I think it's definitely worth it. Reason is, remember I said it's going to be the foundation of my color palette. I've got 4 great colors to work off. The height of this table is 29 inches. Actually, that would work. The height and proportion of this is very nice. That works. What doesn't work for me, though, is the finish. Although the finish matches perfectly, it's dark and it's a smooth finish. Oh my goodness, speaking of texture, look at this screen. Love the texture. How cool is that? I love it. Incorporate continuity into this space. I first talked to you about the travertine floors back when I was doing the living room. Now the travertine floors, the continuity went from the living room into the dining room, the foyer, and out into the kitchen. Now besides that, remember I mentioned going all the way on out to my view and my focal point? So I carried that same travertine flooring to the patios and onto the pool deck. So the continuity of the space